Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. I hope you can join me today for some fun making a candy box junk journal. Welcome to the channel or welcome back. I'm glad you're here. So today, friends, I am going to make a candy box junk journal. A kind viewer, Eileen, hi Eileen, asked for a step-by-step, so that's what today's video is about. And this cutie was one that I made kind of in two parts. I made the base journal quite a while ago, and then I had a lot of leftover August printables, some of my fishy printables and ocean theme printables, and I decided to sort of finish it off. And I shared that again a couple videos ago, so I will link that in the description box below. And here we are, ready to make a brand new one. I love this packaging. I love junk journaling in general. And for today's video, I've gathered a lot of little things. One thing I want to say that's maybe a more unique supply is this medical tape. I'm using very thin paper, and I would recommend either a washi tape or this medical tape. You can get it at Walmart or, a pharmacy style place. And I think that would be really helpful to secure the center of your pages. I also have a lot of little ways to decorate the pages. Today I am going to use some Distress Oxide and a bunch of goodies. So if you've made box junk journals before, look at these cute little things. I love all this stationery and book pages. Grabbed a few mild liners. If you've made box junk journals before, I think this is probably very similar to other box junk journals, and maybe the only difference is leaving the packaging showing. I have some stretchy elastic cord and some eyelets today, some baker's twine, and I'm not really sure. There's a couple bindings I want to explore and experiment, but for today's video, I'm leaning into using the eyelets and getting those in with like a crocodile tool. Also have some cute pom-pom trim and of course some glue nearby. I'm going to use the glue stick and oh yeah, no coffee today, friends, but a lot of candy. There's a number of different boxes you could use. I love the Swedish fish box, but I thought this Jolly Rancher box was really cute too. And I'm gathering a bunch of different papers. Now these were the paint scraped papers that we made in the last video. And again, I'll link that below. It's simply scraping any acrylic paint that you have across copy paper or deli paper. I've actually done both. The one that is on the actual candy box is deli paper. And then today I'm going to do some ink splashing. This is also on the back of scrapbook paper. And then this technique was the colorful graffiti on the left. We did that last video. And any papers you have, scrapbook paper is great if you want to dye papers in a different way. I just thought, isn't it cute to get really colorful with these candy boxes? And then on the right hand side, I decided, again, I'm showing that medical tape. See how I don't think you can really see it. It's not quite transparent. I think it does a really nice job with reinforcing the center of the paper when you attach it to your journal. So for today's video, again, I'm leaning into the eyelets as my binding, but you could also do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch and use some cord. I have some cotton braiding cord here that would work great. And since I've got excited about this project, And again, thanks to Eileen, the kind viewer who requested this, I started to gather quite a few candy boxes. Lots of things here, including that netting from the Dollar Tree on the far right. I think that's really fun to add. So here's my list of things that I have gathered. If you want to stop the video at any point, that way you have a list to refer to. And let's get busy making. I also will pop that list up at the end of the video as well. So the first thing is we are going to keep the body of this candy box intact, except for the tops and bottom of the box. And I'm going to cut right here across, but I want to keep that side flap. Let me see what I'm doing here. That would be helpful. I'm going to keep that side flap that I have my left hand on as part of the journal. I don't know, there was something about keeping it a full box shape that I really liked. And I'm just going to cut off the tops and the bottoms now. Get going with that. I love these colors, and I am a personal fan of Swedish fish. So if you've done a project like this, I would love to hear about it. Love to know your favorite candies, but this really gives me the vibe. Did you ever do this going to, oh, I should say this before, 6 1/4 by 3 1/2 is about the size of the journal when finished. The movie candy boxes, right, at movie theater prices, by the way, right? That's what this journal project reminds me of, in a sense that, well, what do you want to use the journal for in the end besides just pure fun to make it, which certainly is enough, but wouldn't it be fun to use as a journal for movies and streaming and things that you like to watch? I think that would be a fun way to use the journal. Could also be a good reading journal, which when I see the Swedish fish, I think of summer reading. Or just a good old junk journal, but I was thinking about that when I was making the first one. And then this is an example of the scraped pages that we scraped the paint, and that's on deli paper. So that one, I'll show you this Jolly Rancher box. I used the painted scraped deli paper as the inside cover of the journal. I love that. Those are so cute. What a great excuse to buy candy too, friends. In the month of Halloween to boot. So that pop of color is something, but I'm a color gal. I love it. And you could just glue that on with a glue stick. The one that I used as my original journal, I actually did something different. So I'm going to show you that technique as another option today. I did this sort of splashy ink technique. And I like that because, again, I don't know, just the fish in the ocean theme that originally got me into this. I like that very watery look. So I'm grabbing a brayer, and this technique is very easy to do. Just going to call it ink splashing. And you need very little ink, actually. You need a lot more water. And get ready, friends. This becomes dangerous quickly for me. I'm going to overspray a lot, so hang on. Yeah, really watery. Just a quick dab on your ink pad. And there's something about it so simple and fast, but I love that look. It's not quite tie-dye or watercolor, but that ink, it just, I don't know, there's something about it, that nice little splash. I like the result of that. Again, very much spraying, just using the two colors. I have the Stormy Sky and what is the purple color? Wilted Violet. Yeah, so I kept going for a little bit, just a minute more. And I really like it. There we go. It's as simple as that. That would be the inside cover. You don't have to put any other paper on it. And I did the similar technique on the back of scrapbook paper. Those can be part of your signature or your folded pages. For this journal, I've played around with 5 to 8. And then, of course, my good old comp notebook paper, which if you've been around here for a bit, you know I have a ton of from all the comp notebooks. Now, again, I'm going to fast forward a bit. This is very thin paper. It's going to take a while to dry, but same exact technique. So a little bit of fast forwarding through all this paper making, but I think you have the gist of it. And then with this last example, I have the scrapbook paper, and instead I did the washi tape with the medical tape, kind of to make it pretty it up, and this cute stencil. So all the different ways that you can make pretty papers, add them to your journal. Again, I used about a minimum of 5 folded pages, and then you could do 8 to 10. It depends on your box, but I found 5 to 8 was a really good range. Now look at these adorable cards. I have little Uno cards, the minis, and some fun educational cards, I guess, kiddo cards from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use those later for pockets on both the interior covers. So for a moment, let's just chat about the inside and outside covers. I'm thinking I'm going to do something similar to the first journal I did, which is put a fabric spine covering of some sort or another. I'm just kind of measuring in. I don't want to totally cover up the pretty fonts and packaging, because that really is the point of this style journal, is to include the packaging graphics in your cover. And then you can decide on buttons. Now, if you're going to sew them on, you need to do that in the beginning before you put your pockets on. But if you're going to glue them on, like a faux button, in the sense, like I put a little embroidery floss in mine and just glued them on, then you don't have to do it right away. You can add some cute pom-pom trim. I have both versions. I have the darker, I have the black, which is such a pretty pop of color with the pom-poms, and the white, and all those cute little buttons. Digging into the stash, friends. Now, I may also cut down these cards. I think for today's session, I'm going to make sure I get the body of the journal done. And I may do more of the decorating and layering in an additional video. But again, you'll get the idea of how to make one yourself by the end of today's video. So I think I like that. I like that combination there. And I would just use Fabri-Tac to get those pockets on. So moving on to how I want to organize, this is going to be a one signature journal, and the pages are going to be about 5.5, a little bit smaller than the cover. I think maybe 3.25 or something like that. I like to cut and tear the pages. I've used, here we go with some measurements for you. I've used one of those fancier scissors, the pinking shears, if you have any of those in your stash. pulling out the colorful graffiti paper we made last time and some of these scraped painted pages. That one's on copy paper, nothing fancy at all. And yeah, this is somewhat dry. This one's dry. I'm not sure about the comp notebook paper. I'm going to take a piece of the 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. So I'm sure you get the idea. It's whatever you have. Use what you have, whatever on hand. And you can use these techniques. That orange paper, I think I just went with a scrappy brush and used acrylic paint for that. And this is a great project if you want to pop a color, you're in the right place. I like the different size pages too. I think we're just going to rip this. Let's give it a good tear. Yeah, so how is your journaling going? How's your fall journaling going? It's currently October 2023. Plenty of Halloween candy in the house. Plenty of candy boxes in the house. No lack of candy here. Now on the other side of, I'm going to demo the medical tape. Again, it's not transparent, but you hardly see it, and it will be either sewn or secured in. You could also paint it or ink it, whatever mark making you want to do. I'm going to grab these mild liners and do a simple squiggle. Again, I like the fish sort of theme, the watery look, so I think wavy lines are fun. That'll do. Whatever on the desk, whatever I can reach at this point. Okay. When you feel the papers with the paint on them, they do give them more body. I don't think I'm going to reinforce the scrapbook paper. I don't know. I guess that's just an option. That's a choice because it's a little bit thicker. I'm more concerned about the copy paper and the graph paper, comp notebook paper, because it's so thin. Let's just get a bit of this. Look at those cute little sprinkles. Now, this is a huge controversy. Wherever you live, what do you call them that you put on ice cream? Do you call them sprinkles? Do you call them jimmies? Do you call them shots? Yeah, in New England, where I live, there's some state-to-state differences. Inquiring minds want to know. We usually call them sprinkles or shots. We don't usually call them jimmies. A little more of that quick squiggle technique on the blank side. Get that down quickly, and I think we're almost good to go. I'm going to go for 5 pages, I think, in this signature, because there's going to be a lot of fun decorating. Again, I think I'm going to have to, in terms of time, I'll probably do that in the next video. And because I've been so inspired to do this, I have another journal or two, I think, that I could put together. So maybe I can show you a couple other quick examples coming up in the future. Now this is fun. I like the way graph paper looks. I like this colorful graffiti technique that we did by scribbling on a plastic bag and just soaking up the ink. going to reinforce that quickly because this will need to be reinforced. I think we're looking good. The first journal I did, I think, had 8 pages. So of course, when you fold it, you then end up with 4 sides to work on. So 5 times 4 would be 20 pages in this journal. I'm thinking it would be a sweet way to keep track of your reading or your movies. You can write over most of these pages with a gel pen or marker, or you could add more writing space and cards. Quick pressing down. I don't know where my bone folder is, but we'll use the side of the scissors. Also, in the course of this video, I lost my white scissors. So I had to grab I always have 2 pair of scissors at my desk because I always lose one somehow. And it should be like right here. I have no idea. It is somewhere. I will find it probably in another 20 minutes when I remove something from some pile. Now this is the Dollar Tree elastic. I'm doing 2.5 lengths of the journal. And I'm going to go for it today. I am going to use the big chomper, the crocodile, and do eyelets today. I had a rough time with my current creative junk journal because it wasn't strong enough and I really didn't have grommets on hand. So I do have these little eyelets, and this is cardboard obviously, so I think I'm going to have better luck with this. Fingers crossed, friends. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts. I would love to know what techniques you're using in your junk journals. I'm going to eyeball it for measurements. I'm going to do 2, a simple one on the top, one on the bottom. You can see I practiced my eyelet skills on the left on that little bit. And I have the big ol', yep, I don't know, friends. Michael's coupons are dangerous because I believe I believe that's why I bought the crocodile too. This thing is huge. I know. So you line it up by first pressing the little tab down to punch the holes. And that's at the, 3/16. Hole in the top and the bottom. Somewhat straight. Not exactly, but it'll work. And then you press the little tab thing to the top. Put your eyelet in. And then line it up. And give it a good press. Yay. Feels good when you get it in straight. And one more. It's a little hard to see from this angle. Let me see. All right, lining that up. Give it a good press. There we go. Now, you could use baker's twine and simply wrap baker's twine, I would say multiple times around your signature. And that would be another way to secure this. Also, as mentioned earlier, the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. I'm going to go for this particular journal with this binding, but there's a lot of options. Oops, you know what? I don't want to do it this way. Nope, I want the elastic on the inside. That's another preference. I just like to do it that way. So 5 folded pages for my signature. Doing some wiggling here. Adjusting, getting it tight. Checking that side, looking good. I like the purple too. Giving it a double knot. Fiddling. You know how it goes. So I want to make sure that's tight enough. Okay, and you can pop a little bit of glue on this. I might do that later. Trim it. Adjust. I love this part. Do you? I love when it actually becomes a journal. The orange scissors. Still do not see the white scissors. Don't know where I put them. Okay, I like it. Very easy techniques, but I love these pops of color. Going to be fun to decorate. There we are. We'll get those, I think we'll get those pockets in next time. Maybe a little more decorating, and I can show one more binding if you care to see the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I think that's a wrap for today. I hope this helped you with some step-by-step instructions for making a candy box junk journal. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. There'll be more to come soon. I really appreciate you watching.